Damn. Whenever I get sad and depressed, I tend to cook because I feel like it's the only thing that gives me peace of mind and makes me feel like I'm doing something worth it. And right now, I don't feel like I'm in the best of moods, but I'm doing what I love and I'm doing it for you all. So don't really have many words right now, so let's just make some cookies. Grab yourself a stick of butter and you're going to toss that into the bowl. Make sure that it's soft and room temperature butter. Then you're going to go in with a cup of your favorite peanut butter. I use creamy Jif simply because it's easier to maintain and it doesn't have any chunky bits in it. I know what you're probably thinking. How am I going to get this peanut butter in and out of the cup? Well, it's a simple baking trick that you can do. Just take some cooking spray, spray the inside of your cup. And then once you get that peanut butter in, it should come out nice and smooth. That's about a cup right there. I'm just going to dump that right into our bowl. Perfect. Then we're going to go in with half a cup of melanated sugar. And then we'll do the same thing for some granulated sugar, about half a cup. Now at this point, we're going to cream the butter, sugar, and peanut butter until smooth. Then we're going to add our egg and vanilla extract. Catch it on like so. Alright, we can see that butter, sugar, and peanut butter mixture is nice and creamy. Let's go ahead and add our egg. And then we're going to go in with the Ancestors Core vanilla extract, which is about 1 or 2 teaspoons, depending on how generous you feel. Alright, let's just place this to the side while we get our dry ingredients ready. Alright, let's work on our dry ingredients. Sifting this is optional. I just find that it gives me a smoother cookie, and sifting the flour does help that. So we're going to go in with 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. So 1 cup, and then we'll go for that 1/4. Instead of shaking it just to get a big mess everywhere, I'm just going to use the measuring cup to push through. Anything to make our job a little bit easier. Look, I still made a mess on the side. Go figure. Let's go ahead and clean it up real quick. I'm going in with half a tablespoon of baking powder, 3/4 of a tablespoon of baking soda just to help that rise, and then a pinch of salt for balance. And let's get everybody to know each other. Let's go ahead and whisk all those ingredients to the bowl until it's well incorporated. Fantastic. Let's just put this to the side and go ahead and get our wet ingredients. Alright, I'm going to turn my stand mixer back on to about a medium to medium low. That's too fast. There we go. From medium to medium low. And slowly we're going to add those dry ingredients to the bowl. I use a plastic spatula for this just to make my job a little bit easier. I'm just going to stop it for a second just to get this excess flour off our whisk. And of course to scrape the sides down so it can get properly mixed in. And back to mixing. Now the key is to make sure that you don't over mix this. I'd say probably about a good 2 or 3 minutes should do it. The temptation to lick this, but I've got enough problems already. Of course you could bake this as is, but I don't want my cookies being so flat. So I'm going to put this in the fridge for about an hour, and then I'm going to go pick up my son, and I'll be right back to do the rest of the steps. Alright y'all, so it's been about an hour. I had those cookies nice and chilled. Now it's time to get to baking. Trick I like to do to make sure that my parchment paper stays flat on the surface. And ball it up like that. And then spread it out. Nice and flat, just how I like it. Essentially, this is going to be a 3-step process. So, first step, we're going to take our cookie dough. And we're going to roll it into 1-inch balls like so. This should be about the right consistency and size. And then we're going to put our balls of dough on the parchment paper like that. Now typically for this step we use a fork to kind of get those cross sections, but we're doing peanut butter and jelly cookies, so this is going to be a little bit different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a spoon on the flat side and gently press it in and kind of swirl it just to create a divot. And if it starts to break apart, just put it together like that. Almost like you put it in a well inside your cookie dough. Now, take any jelly or jam that you prefer. I had some strawberry jelly that I made from scratch, but it's all out, so I got the next best thing. Got some Smucker's strawberry jam. We're gonna put that right in the middle of those cookies. And that is going to be our first peanut butter and jelly cookie. I know some of y'all are probably watching and talking about, well, what's he depressed about? Well, I'll tell you guys. So, a year ago, I was working for a big company, and while my goal was to become a full-time content creator, gotta pay the bills, right? So, unfortunately, due to job restructuring and the company deciding to make some significant internal changes, I lost my position. And this was June of 2024. Fast track to, we're at the end of May, so nearly June 2025, and I have yet to find a job. I have unfortunately been unemployed for the past year, getting the occasional brand deal here or there to, help pay the bills and different things like that. But as with anything that you're trying to do in the creative space, you're pretty much a starving artist until you start to make it big. And I definitely knew that signing up for this, so did my family. But it still doesn't help the fact that, I'm trying to find work and things have not gone to par. Fast track to today. I had an offer that was made from a brand that would have definitely helped out my family and helped my, kids and everything with school and, household bills. And, I did want to take my wife on a nice vacation because she definitely deserves it. And unfortunately, the brand deal fell through. The brand decided to go into a different direction. No harm, no ill will. If these things happen, that's part of the game. But it still doesn't help the fact that it hurts like hell just knowing that that would have been a big opportunity for my family and I that unfortunately went down the drain. And for anybody who's applied for jobs in this job market, you know that it's tough. There's jobs that constantly get reposted on LinkedIn. You apply, you don't hear back, or you get an automatic rejection. People are losing jobs left to right. It's a pretty tough economy right now. Times are hard. Which, side note, is one of the reasons why I directed most of my content to making easy and simple recipes. Because like me, there's plenty of people out there who are struggling financially and who are just struggling in general to make a good meal just for their family to eat. And, you don't have 2 hours to make something fancy. You don't have all the money in the world to make a big extravagant meal. So I've found ways to kind of make simple meals, everyday meals that you and your family can eat. Usually when I get sad, depressed, or, whatever you want to call it, I like to bake. We'll probably call it stress baking if that's, the proper term for it, but I like to bake. Baking is challenging for me because I am a chef and a cook. I am used to cooking in the kitchen. Not really the best baker, but I feel like it brings out the best in me when it comes to, making recipes and just challenging myself. And I really hope that, me being a downer right now isn't, upsetting anybody, and I do apologize for that. I am hoping that me talking about my issues helps somebody going through the same thing too. Because that's honestly what it's all about. It's about helping one another. It's about learning from shared experiences, building community, in hopes that we could be a better functioning society. Alright, the first batch is done. Let's go ahead and put these in the oven for 10 minutes at 375 degrees, and we'll get right back to it. Let me show y'all real quick. Ain't these a beaut? Those are gorgeous. Now real quick, I'm going to go ahead and put these on the cooling rack because they're on a hot tray and they'll still continue to cook. I did put them in for an additional probably 3 minutes or so just because the cookies are pretty big. But once you put these on a cooling rack, they'll harden a little bit. So don't be upset they're a little soft. We'll let these stay in the cooler rack for about a good maybe 10-20 minutes just to cool completely, and then I'll let you know how they taste. If this isn't the spinning image of the theme of the video, then I don't know what is. These are our cookies here. They're looking pretty good, smell great. Let's try them out. It's so good. These are so good. These are so good. Peanut butter taste is out of this world. That strawberry jelly complements it so well. Damn. Whew. I know this isn't my usual. I know this isn't my usual happy-go-lucky content, but I've been trying to show you guys more about who I am behind the scenes on live and on camera. But I hope if you're going to do something that you talk to somebody about it, and if you don't have anybody about it, comment in the comments below, because you have a community here, people who love you and support you, and people who genuinely want to see you win. I know in my case, some days are going to be good, some days are going to be bad, but I have these recipes to help get things by, and hopefully they'll help you get by too. I really hope that you all stay along for the ride. I can make some great recipes, easy recipes for you and your family that could be done with a simple budget. So if you like easy recipes and content like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Follow me for more recipes like these. And until the next time we feast, peace. But take care of yourselves, love one another, and I hope you're doing well. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless.